Hey there. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja, and we are live with this week's Data to Dashboard Makeover Monday session for week 21. And excited to have you along. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it here. So we are looking at this survey chart that was made by Data Wrapper. Made by the folks at Data Wrapper, looking at the Summer Olympics that are happening in Paris this year, this summer actually, and looks like things are not looking too good sentiment-wise, which is interesting. So I know there's been a lot of unrest and protests over in France recently. So that might be leading to it, but they've got a nice little bar chart here that shows, or not bar chart, it's a line chart that shows the decrease from 2003, from December of 2020 to July of 2023, and so nice little line chart there. So we'll see how far we can get. We'll have some fun in Tableau, and let's go ahead and get this data here, and we'll download this. No thanks. There we go. And now we'll jump over to Tableau. Hey Tim, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Text file. This is enter downloads and that. And one thing that you can see here is that it's a very small data set. 8 rows, 4 columns. So we've got the type, we've got the category, we've got the value from 2020 and the value from July of 23. So pretty small data set. We'll see what we can do. So the first thing, let's go ahead and just try and one of the things I like to do is I'm kind of as I kind of do these things, I like to just try and see if I can recreate the original, and then we can talk about different options for visualizing this data. So the first thing we need to do is we'll have this one be the type, and we'll have beliefs at the games. Okay. So we'll do that, and go. And then we have type. Nope, I already did type. Category. And then we have December. And we're actually going to have this be a shape. And then we have July. And these are going to be dual axes. And we'll synchronize. And because they're dots or circles, because they're not bars, essentially, we don't need to have a normalized baseline. So we can get rid of 0 there. All right. So actually, what I think we'll do, we don't want this to be a dual axis. We want this to be a measure names and measure values. So we'll do this. And we'll put 2023 there. Edit the axis, remove the 0, and there we go. Right? So now what we can do in order to get this kind of connected, so we have this as a shape. We could also do a line. And Tableau's like, oh yeah, you want to basically connect these lines based on category. No, thank you, Tableau. I would rather you connect the line based on measure names. So we'll just take measure names. It's on color right now. We'll take measure names and we'll just drag it to path. And see how that kind of creates that line right there? So that's really nice. And then what we can do is we can add the mark labels. We can format the measure names to be a custom number with no decimal places. And actually, I think this is also going to be a percentage. These are percentages. So we'll also just add the percent suffix there, like that. Okay, so there's how we get that so far. And then what we can do in order to create those, how do we know if it's one or the other, right? How do we know if it's going up or if it's going down? Well, the way that we can do that is we can add, we'll duplicate the measure values continuous axis here. It's not going to be a line chart, it's going to be a shape mark. And we'll put measure names on shape. And actually, yeah, we'll do that. And because we know that these are going, we know that all of these are going backwards. So we'll have July of 2023 as the, so we'll click on our shape palette and we'll go to filled once Tableau, come on. You never know when Tableau is going to decide to just kind of hang. But essentially what's going to happen is once the shape palette loads, there we go. And we'll go to filled, July 23, we know it's going that way. And then we know that this is going to go this way. All right, we know that we'll just add a dot for the start of the line. Click apply. Right? And now we've got a dot and we've got a mark. And then we've got an arrow that shows that. And now we just make this a dual axis. And then we just synchronize. And then on our dots, we can take the labels off. Or we can do it the other way. Yeah, that looks good. And on the line, we'll do on the, yeah, automatic. That looks good. Maybe I'll do entire view here. There we go. So you can, so we can see it. Now, the other thing that I need to do for my shapes is I want to, let's increase the size of the line a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll increase the size of, and actually what I think I want to do is I want to put measure names also on size. And we'll go here and we'll edit the sizes and we'll reverse it. And then I can just take I want the smallest to be that way, and then I can just kind of bump this size up and then watch what happens to, see how it just kind of bumps it up a little bit, and then there we go. And then we can do that. And then we can come back up here and we can increase the size a bit more. But it looks like the size of the dot, oh, that's why, okay. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's, so I know why that's happening. So we'll go back down. So the reason I have this dot right here is because when you show the values of a line chart, when you show the mark labels of a line chart, it's also going to show that indicator, that dot, that indicator. So I'm going to turn this off. And then I'll turn on these. And I'm actually going to, and then it's like, well, what are we doing now, right? Like that's one of the ways, that's one of the ways you can learn how Tableau does things is when you do a mark label on a line chart, it's going to put the mark label in the most optimal place, right? So it could be above, below, right or left, depending on what everything is, right? So where the rest of the mark is, right? So if we go back, you'll see what I'm talking about here. So I'll turn mark labels off here. I'll turn them back on the line. And by setting it to automatic, Tableau says, "Oh yeah, there's no mark on this side of the line chart, so I'll put it on here." But I'm not going to do it over here because I see that there's a mark over here, right? So I'm going to put it on the opposite side, right? So Tableau is pretty smart when it comes to that's a really nice handy feature. I do enjoy that. But for the sake of this, I don't like how it always I don't like how it adds the mark indicator with this particular example. So I'll turn those back off. But now, when I turn mark labels on for the shape or circle here, or for the shape, Tableau has no, even though I've done dual axis and I've done synchronized axes and all that kind of stuff, Tableau's within this particular mark type. Tableau has no frame of reference for any other marks that may be overlapping. So here, when you do the alignment, it's just going to do automatic, and it's always going to put it. It's always going to default it to the right, and even if I change this to the left, it's going to do it for all of the marks, right? So the way that we can get around this is we just choose. I just leave it on automatic. That's fine, and then what we can do is you can actually move the mark label independently. I don't know if you knew that or not, but if you didn't, there you go. So you can do here, you can do this, and then you can just move it over here. So we'll do that for each of those. Just like that. Right? So there's how you can show kind of the indicator from that, which is really nice. And then you can just kind of play with the you know, with kind of how everything looks here. You know, maybe you kind of want it kind of close to the you know, maybe kind of putting it right there, it doesn't make the most amount of sense, but you can kind of play with it and kind of move things around to where it kind of makes a little bit more sense here. There we go. Something like this, right? Just have a little, just, you know, play around with it. Have a little fun. There we go. Or maybe you want it directly under the triangle. I don't know. Play with it. Figure it out. Have some fun. That's kind of what it's all about here. And then you can just duplicate and change your type to the other type. And then you'd have to remove your mark labels, right? But essentially that's, and then you could, so we have like overall support, and then we have kind of a breakout. So you've got the under 35, over 50, and working class. So that's kind of a recreation. How did they do that in the example here? Let's take a look at that. So they have under 35, over 50, working class, and then they have overall support down at the bottom. So we'll do that. There we go. So that's how you recreate. That's how you can use create that. So let's take another stab at this. This is good at showing the distance, right? This shows linear distance. Another way that we can do this, type, do this. What we can actually do is put measure values on columns. Nope, rows. Measure values on rows. And then measure names on and then we'll do category here, and then we'll do think about this here, measure names. Oh yeah, measure names on columns. There we go. So we'll get rid of the count of rows because we don't need that. But then we can change this back. Then we can change this into a line. Get rid of measure names. Right? So this kind of shows a slope chart. And then if you really wanted to, like, you can kind of see that. I like it this way because if we tried to take this, right? It all kind of gets muddled together, right? It gets kind of muddy, so we won't do that. But I think this is also another really good way to show the variance, right? You're showing the slope of the line, which is really good. Let's see what else we can also. So this is slope chart. This is the. Well, let's just. And then this is the. Line chart. We can also do this as a dot, right? Whoop. So let's duplicate this. Let's do a let's change this from a shape to a circle, and we'll remove that from size. So we'll go back to this. And then what we'll do is we'll put measure names on color. And then what we can do is we can take the line chart and kind of make this color, and then we can increase the size of it. And here you get kind of a nested dot, right? Just kind of adding a little bit of flair here, and then you can go in here and you can change this, right? You can change these colors to something fancy if you wanted to. So this is kind of a nested dot plot. So that's kind of a fun one that you can do here. And then what we could also do is like drop the opacity here, right? So you can still see so you're able to see the distance a little better. I think I actually do prefer this. I mean, each to his own, right? Like there's pros and cons of each decision, right? This one is good at really showing the direction, right? This one is really good at showing the change. I feel like this is really good at showing the change between the dots, linearly, right? And then this one is really good at showing this, like, just how far things have dropped, right? Because it's literally showing you a drop, right? This one again, I think, is really good for showing the amount of how things have changed, right? I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is that I'm thinking of, but so there's 3 different ways that you can that you can show the change over, 2 measures. So yeah, it's pretty, with 8 rows of data, right? It's going to be pretty straightforward. And that's okay. Sometimes you just need, and I think we can go ahead and not show this header. And I think I am going to, I'm going to try and put it right there. And then I'll do the same for these, right? I've got to do something like this. And then we can go in here and get real fancy with it, right? We can go in here and be, let's bump this up to like 14. There we go. Now I'm just playing with the alignment here. I could probably do this all day because sometimes that's just how it goes. Looks pretty good. Trying to get these all lined up so that they look kind kind of in the same kind of, they're kind of, the numbers are centered on the dots, and it looks like I've got to put the, yep, that looks good. So we're just kind of messing around here, putting these dots, putting these values. I think I want to drop this down a little bit. Ooh, not go that way. There we go. So everything is kind of right on the, like, this is where you can get really, you know, like this, you can see the top of the 7 is like right on the gray line, right on the gray line. This one's not, so we'll kind of move. That's too much. Looks like that's as good as I'm going to be able to get it here. There we go. That looks better. So you can kind of have some fun with it here. Oh, you couldn't see that because my head was in the way. But there we go. So I kind of come up here, right? And I just kind of look at, you know, it's like the 7 is like just a pixel below the gray line, where here it's like right on the gray line down here, right? So just kind of mess with it. And then you have, like, you know, the grid line, the axis line right here is kind of right on the outer edge of the 4. So then you can come down here and it's like, oh yeah, I need to move this just a hair. That's too much. That's too much. There we go. That looks better. And now things are kind of all lined up, right? So that's just, you just kind of play with it. You just kind of play around, mess around with it until you get it to where you like. What else can we do here? Let's. Do we want to? I think we want to sort this. Let's do. Let's calculate the variance. And it'll be the variance. Oh no, it's not the variance. I can't use the variance because that's, the variance is based off of one thing. So we'll do sum of December 2020 minus sum of July 2023. And then what we can do is we can just do category, default properties, sort. Oh yeah, you can't do a default field sort. You can only do that on a particular sheet. So we'll do category, sort, field, and then we'll just do via the variance. And I think I want it descending. I want to show who has the biggest decrease. And maybe that's what we do. So these are my circles, and then these are my lines, and then maybe what we do is we put label, we put the variance. Oh, I don't want that. I'd rather, it'd be super cool. And actually I do need to go into variance, and let's just do, instead of like flipping around, I think what I'm going to do, because we know that everything already went down all the way, let's just do number format, and we'll do automatic number with no decimal places, and we'll prefix everything with a negative sign. Or maybe we'll do something even fancier, and we'll do a downwards triangle. How about that? There we go. Let's copy that so I can go do it to the rest. So then what I can do, actually, and then we'll go to measure values, and then for all, or marks to label all, I'm going to do just the line end, and I'm not going to let them overlap, and I'm only going to do the end of the line. And then what we'll do is we'll take this again, and then we'll just kind of try and place this in the middle. Or actually, let's, well, I was going to see if we could, like, all right, so we've got one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a little bit. That would be what, 4 and a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like, because it's not quite 5, but it's a little over 4.5. So we'll kind of go there. And of course, that's not where I dropped it. Why won't it? Are you seeing this? It won't drop it on the line? Well, that's silly. Okay, well, how about down here? Oh, come on. Okay, that's good. Can you, what? Why is this acting like this? All right, let's just do it right there. And I can't even use my keyboard. Like, I can't use my keyboard keys to, like, I just want to bump this up to, like, right there. Like, I'm not asking for, all right, whatever. All right, so we'll go here. And whoop. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a little bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit. So like right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, and a little bit. Like right. Let's. Nope. There. How about there? I really don't like that, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll call that 7. So that's 3.5 plus a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Come back over here, please. There we go. Call it right there. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3, 1, 2, 3, and like right there. There we go. All right. Like that's pretty nice. I like this. But now we can come up here and we can bump it up a little bit more, right? And then we can like edit this to be like it dropped 19 points. And then maybe color it like red. Make it bold. There we go. And then let's see what else. Can we add? Ooh, I don't know about that. That's really. Let's drop the opacity even more. There we go. Let's do that. I like that. But then for the colors of the dots, let's figure that out. Let's do, I don't know, do we need to? Do we need to have color on the dots? I don't know, let's see. Let's remove it from color and then change them to like a gray color. No, we need to have color on them. So we'll do edit this. We'll do I'm already using red. Something like this. That's not bad. All right, let's format this a little bit. So you'll notice also what I'm doing is I'm formatting this one exactly the way that we want it. And then all I got to do is just duplicate this sheet once I get it to a place I like it, and then just flip the type. And then I'll probably have to rearrange all of the values, but all of the other formatting and colors and all that kind of stuff will be the same, which will be really nice. Okay, no grid lines, no zero line. Do we want this? Yeah, I think the grid lines are okay because the grid lines kind of help you. But I do think what we could do instead of doing grid lines is let's do, instead of every 2, let's edit the axis and do every 5. Yeah, I like that. There we go. Let's duplicate. Do we have this? Let's see. I don't think we need tooltips either because everything's kind of. I will take care of providing context in the titles. So let's think about what else we can do here. Let's format this. Let's format the header, font. Let's do. Is 14 too much? Maybe. Bold. And then actually I think what we could do is we could format this to give a rose axis ruler to be kind of maybe dashed and black. I don't like that, not dashed. Solid. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice, nice. And then we just kind of do this, but I don't like how the text goes right up to the line, so let's go back to this and format the header to be that way. There we go. Because then whenever we do fit width, whoa, not that. I like that size. Let's drop the size of the dots. We certainly don't need them that big. But then we lose the. See, this is where things get. Like if I leave it like this, it's perfect, right? But as soon as I start messing around with things, then things get all weird on me, right? So maybe anyway, I think we'll so and then we'll duplicate this. Actually, can I just, what if I put type here? Okay. And then let's open that up. We just it. Oh, got it. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay, so this, clear that, and we'll make this bold 12, 14. let's add back a row divider. How about this? And now we'll have to we'll have to rearrange our heading. We'll have to rearrange our values. But I think this does a pretty good job of, there we go, maybe like that. There we go. That's got a little bit more space. And then what we'll do is we'll format this and we'll put it in the center. And now we can hide this. There we go. What do we think? I like it. All right, let's put this on a dashboard. There we go. Vertical. This is the title. I don't know what I'm gonna put, but I know that I'm gonna need one, so we'll do that. All right, and then we'll get rid of this. Get rid of that. And I need to go back to this because this is all way too large. Format, clear, maybe just bold, and I'll make this one bigger and bold. There we go. And then that allows me to kind of bring this out a little bit. And then probably, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, everything can kind of come down in size, I think, now. So this is kind of the thing. You gotta you design something in the sheet and then you put it on a dashboard and everything kind of goes to, that's okay. We can deal with that. But we want to change this to 11. This text goes to 11. 11. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. It's getting there. It's closer. Definitely don't think that axis ruler needs to be that dark for sure. Or do we need one at all? No, I don't think we need one at all, actually. Okay, now for the labels. I really wish that would go higher. Oh, there we go. Nope. Well, now you do it. All right. This is gonna be fun to watch. Okay, so now we'll just kind of. There we go. Again, I'm not trying to do this like exact. I'm just trying to get this to a point that looks somewhat good. I'm going to call that good because, no, let's go up a little bit here. Something like this. There. I just get it somewhere close, and then I'm like, yep, I'm done. I'm not touching it again because I won't be able to put it in that good of a better position than what I've got. So there we go. All right. And then we'll do these over here. I think I do want them on the outside and rather than under like I had in my sheet originally. But I do want, I think I do want my percentages at least, my percent symbols. Oh, see, this is gonna, my pixel perfection is gonna get the best of me here because I'm gonna want both of those values to be lined up on the same line, and it doesn't look like it's gonna let me. Those are not lined up. Oh, yeah, okay, you can see that. Okay. Come on, there we go. Those are better. We go here, add a header, edit, custom, make this like 98. Give that a little bit more room. And then hide that again. There we go. So now I just need to move one. And I'm gonna need to put, I'm also gonna need to do the other side. Edit. How about 40? That looks good. There we go. All right, it's looking good. And then I think I like the what was the original title? Parisian sentiment about the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics has declined leading up to the event. And we'll make it kind of dark, but this we do want to be bigger, like a 15, maybe in a medium or semi-bold. sheet title, and we'll say the chart below shows the change, shows the sentiment change between July or December 2020 and July of 2023. And then we'll do this one as bold and change the color, use the eyedropper and that color, and bold and make it show that color. There we go. I like it. So there you go. Awesome. I think that works really well. So there you have it. Sentiment data. Change in values shown 3 different ways. We chose one, made it a dashboard. Simple as that. So is it better than the original? I don't know. The original was pretty good to begin with. I don't necessarily think that one needed making over, but it's always good to try new things and play around with it, learn a few things along the way. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja. This has been Data to Dashboard. As the sign says, we are data people. Go forth and viz.